Good morning, everybody. This is Evelyn. I had a bit of a download this morning, so I wanted to share it with you. Let's focus in on that. I was listening to Laura Eisenhower, one of her videos, not her most recent one. It was about the mother energy. She had it was a feminine roundtable. So if you want to check it out, you can. I didn't watch all of it. I watched the beginning of it, but then my guides were guiding me to this message, obviously, so I left the video. So you see at the top of my page, it was 9/11 there. And they were talking about the mother and the mother archetypes, which I truly resonate. My main guide is Sophia. So I was thinking about that and romance and the idea of romance. And for me, you know, a hug or just treating each other well, for me, is very romantic. So it's not that we're not supposed to be romantic, it's just the idea of sexuality in the relationship and what that actually means. But that's a whole nother topic. So first we're going to go on to, or into the idea of the mother, father, and child. Because as soon as they started talking about the mother, which I definitely identify and resonate with, I realized that there's so many feminines, very awakened feminines, who talk about the source energy of the feminine, and then there's these masculines who are respecting the divine feminine but yet still saying the masculine is the father, right? So there's still this polarity, and I keep getting the message that the child is source. So I was guided to this message here after listening to talking about this beautiful message about the mothers, which I would definitely recommend the video. It's a wonderful video. But again, starting out, you see here at the 9/11, where a helicopter was flying overhead at that moment. And I was guided to the energy of the shift because Laura had just said the F off energy, which I was just talking about in my video, about the shift of when you get empowered. It's that kind of like that anger that rises up within you, that you're not going to take this anymore. The shift of when you get angry enough to come into your empowerment. So that's what brought me into this video here. So that the child is the result of the mother and father arc union. And the arc is the bridge, the love story. And Laura was talking about the love story, but I'm going into something different about it. So here is the rainbow, right? The rainbow bridge is the arc of the union, the mother-father arc. The child is the arc of the union, of the love story, the rainbow. So the Venus, she was talking about the Venus transit Sophia correction, astrologically, to realign with the galactic core. The love story was never really lost. And then me saying, you know, that they just got off path. And we are here for soul and spiritual development. So that's what they were talking about. So here, I was getting the God, the child God is the nothingness to the everythingness. The space between the zero in Christ and Sophia, right? Christo Sophia is the O in the middle. The egg, the all-in-one-ness, the bridge, the connection outside and within. It is the child, after all, that teaches us true love, and we'd be nothing without them. There'd be no evolution. The battle of the sexes and the X's, the mother doesn't work without the seed. That's the seed of the father. Without the womb or the flower of the mother. That the stalk is the child, the delivery. But the seed planted comes from the father and the beautiful flowering of the mother. So here we go into the seed, the egg, and the womb. The seed of the father, the womb of the mother, and the egg of the child. And you see here the triangles. The upward pyramid triangle is the masculine, and then the upside down triangle is the feminine. And then the traditional is the mother, father, child energy here. However you want to look at it, if you see the father at the top and then the mother and the child, or the mother at the top and the father and the child, it really is the child and the mother and the father in the same way here. And then we have the source energy in the middle. But in the overall scheme of things, when you bring the masculine and the feminine together, right, the masculine triangle and the feminine triangle, then the child is the center, which brings them together, the bridge, the alignment between the two triangles then becomes the Merkaba, right? The Star of David. So we have the seed here, SEED, the egg, EGG, notice these double letters, and then the womb doesn't need double letters because it's got the W and the M, which is the double hump or mountain. Okay, so also what was coming up here with the Sophia, and you notice that the seed, the egg, and the womb spell SEW, which is the sewing of the seeds together. Okay, the egg, and you see all the definitions that come up from each of these things. The seed for me is the S of Sophia, the double E of the human male, because the D is the human embodiment of source toggling up on the right, which is the masculine energy. And this is my alphabet, okay? So the Sophia, an energetic exchange with the human male toggling up, right, becoming more his feminine. And all of these definitions you see around this, this is the EE definition, okay? So the double letters. It is the I and the bond of marriage. It's the AE of the ash here, the ash symbol, the 0 of human embodiment of source, and the 9, the culmination, the compassion of universal selflessness and giving to others. It also is the water and to eat, the feed, which nourishes us. It's also the law and the rule. It's like the EE is the everything, right? And then we have the egg of the E and then GG, the E of the energy, the Elohim, the Eve, and the elite. And then the GG of the good game, the loss, the defeat, the game over, good going, the gigagram and gigagauss, the genetic girl and the governor or general, the generative grammar, the gamer gate, the child, the she, the penis, the Google, done for, doomed, and Gigi or Gij came up here as the elder brother or big brother, which you can take in multiple ways. So there's more of a negative connotation here from the egg that brings in the negative. But yet the positive, the extremely positive as well, which is the Elohim and the energy, which is source. And then we have the womb of the W, which is the 2 U's, the space of the 0 between, which is the space or 0 point, which means that it's the human embodiment of source. It's the human embodiment source only if that human is in alignment with 0 point, okay? So the 2 U's, the space between, or the human embodiment of source that is aligned, the 2 M's of the 2 me's, or the 2 mountains or hills, and that's the B of the source embodiment toggling up to the left, which is the divine feminine toggling up, overcoming the obstacles, the climb, the female toggling up. We are each the mother, father, and child. The dance is the parents holding the child's hands. Yet each are the child, the mother and the father, expressing their elements apart, yet as one. And then the we, me came up again, right? The traveling letter, the W, E, M, and 3, which are all the same symbol, just in different positions. And you notice that there are 3 of these, right? W, E, M, but then there's the number 3, which ends up over here being the reflection. Where did I write that? The we, me. The 3 ends up being the reflection of the first 3 of the role. The me, we, or the we, me. And also giga, the giga in gram, and gigagauss, the giga was coming up. So for me, that was coming up as the GI, which can be your GI tract, which is because our bodies are natural transmuters. But the GI is the grounding and integrating of the GA, and the GA is over here, the definitions of GA were coming up as the genetic algorithm or global affairs. Okay, so the grounding and integrating of genetic algorithm or global affairs in giga. And I'm bringing that up because the Tetragrammaton comes up and the word gram is in Tetragrammaton. So here we have the gigagram and the gigagauss, okay? So then the womb, we went through all of this. And so going back to the traveling WEM3, the we, me, or the me, we, and the 3, here is the W, the 2 U's, the E of the energy, the Elohim, and then the M of the mountains to climb, and then facing the reflection of self. That is the 4th. The 3 is the 4. Maybe they don't come apart like the ash, the A and the E. They don't come apart. The 3 and the 4 are as one. All right, so then we go to the next page and notice the time was 9:46, which is the loving children and the hermit here. I'm going to show you my next page here. Okay, so then coming together with all that, because I first drew the triangle. Oh, I have to put this up for you. All right, so when I turn the page, whoops, I guess it doesn't like standing up right there. Stay, please. Thank you. Okay, so when I first turned the page, I'd drawn the triangle of the mother, father, and child. And then I was getting with the dot in the middle, which is the source in the middle, the alignment of the two triangles, the masculine triangle and the feminine triangle. And you notice as you bring together all these elements, these are the symbols that come from this, right? The source embodiment, the human embodiment of source, or the 0 point, the source energy of space. We have the masculine triangle, the feminine triangle, but we also have the X in here. We have the Y and the V's, okay? And those are the letters. These are all the letters that come up in this. And then I was being guided to change the Y to the V and I, because the Y is just the V and the I together, like the 3 and the 4. And you notice that one V is 4, it's the emperor. And then here we have the X's and O's, the kisses and hugs, which will come up in a second. So again, this is where the Tetragrammaton came up, the I am I. And when I wrote I am I in block lettering, look how it came up. You have 11 on this side and 11 on this side, equal pillars on both sides, but there's a boundary on top, but not on the bottom. And if you take the 11s away, this is what's left in the middle. And I was getting the Libra symbol here, but also it comes up as IHI 11. I, high 11, which is truth and balance of justice. I am high truth and justice, or balance. So the Tetragrammaton coming up here, I was getting this circle with the symbols inside, and then I arrowed up to that because it's like the pi, right? Because pi is the circle with the line down the middle. But to expand outside of this is the phi energy, so I drew the arrow going outside of itself. It expands. So no matter how it ends, and this is the ending symbol, one comes back to me. Okay? I am I. So no matter how it ends, showing the end marker here, I come back to me. The pi understands itself. The phi expands itself. And then the Tesla energy was coming up as the boundary on one side. So here's again that energy of the boundary on one side, which obviously if both ends are open, the energy flows straight through. But when you close off one side, there becomes more, and I was getting the Mexican boundary there as well. But when you close off one side, it becomes more focused energy, more directed and channeled from within, so without. Okay? So then they were showing me to play with the letters here a bit. They wanted the numbers to come up here, and I told you that the 1V is the emperor, and then the kisses and hugs. And then depending on how you arrange the 1V, X, and 0, these are the different numbers that came up, 14 and 16, and then 6, 4, and then 14 again here. So we had 0, 4, 6, 14, and 16 as the numbers coming up from this Tetragrammaton. 0 and the Roman numerals here, 0, 1, V, and X, which add up to the number 16, which is the tower, and the number 7, 16 reduces to 7. We have the 0, which means space and void, and you can go, and this is based on my own knowing, but also together with the information that Sam the Illusionist just brought through with his definition of numbers from Metatron. So again, the 0 is the space or void, the human embodiment of source, if you are aligned with 0 point. The 1 of the intelligent unity consciousness, and that was his definition on the video, divides into all of the creator. The 4 being the union, which we talk about that 4 of wands being the union all the time. This is the coming together, the bridging of the feminine and masculine. And then he hadn't brought his definition through of the number 6, but we know the 6 as the love, family, and community, the lovers, the coming together. But again, for me, the lovers is about affection, which is that romance. It's not necessarily about the sexual part. It's the intimacy of the 6 of love, family, and community. So then the Tetragrammaton here, I was guided to break that down for you to understand what actually that means. Does it have to be just the 4 original symbols of the Tetragrammaton, or does it mean something more? And here is what these definitions came down to over here, down at the bottom. Right, so those were the definitions, and I'm going to read you what came through here. All those definitions of Tetragrammaton, and then T-R-A, and T-R. I looked up all those definitions, and here's what comes through. The see-through goldfish, which is the tetra, and you notice that Magenta Pixie's name is Petra, so tetra. See through the goldfish, the see-through goldfish, which is actually orange, a container or empty vessel, the grim reaper, the feet, the chickpea or grandmother and her sweet pea, Bermuda grass and triangle, irate at the hostel, where you bring into agreement with the bully, the jailer, the crazy, the fake, the snake, the worm, the maggot, the uncultivated land, the forest, the jungle, the woods, the wild grass and weeds, and the hand-operated water pump. Through investigation, examination, and inspection, translation and trill, a tapestry is built, a time or season, which is the sea's sun, right? Or Neptune's sun is Pegasus, and Pegasus breaks down to peg as us, to respect one another. So here was the message that came through, and I'll put this down so you can see what I just wrote there, okay? And that was the message that came through. So I just definitely wanted to bring that to you. A lot of codes came through in that. And the first picture I showed you, the tag on this video, was actually something as a picture of me making something, but I wanted to put that up there because the dummy there had the number 4 on it. And we're just talking about the Tetragrammaton, which is 4 parts, and me talking about the 3 into the 4, having the 3 parts of the Trinity, then reflecting on itself in the 4th quarter, okay, and bridging into the end there, which the end, there is no end, right? We keep expanding further. But that was just the message that came through regarding the child in relation to the mother-father triangle. And so rise and be loved, guys. I hope. Oh, before I go, I did want to pull an animal spirit card for you. Let's see what comes up regarding this. Okay, for mother, father, child, what do you want us to see here? And I love that the 3 and 4 came together as the ash, because that's the emperor and the empress saying there's, you know, they're only one. The bridge between is that you're nothing without the bridge between, right? Because otherwise we're just polarized. And there you go. We have the elephant. The elephant never forgets. And I'm going to have to read that to you. The bottom is the oyster, just so you see what came up. Okay. And the oyster's all clammed up, right? But the elephant we just talked about came up a lot this week about being, you know, the grandest animal on the land, whereas the whale was the, you know, the leader of the sea. And it's like they're watching over us, you know, on the land. So let's see what this is coming up regarding. So let me just put the elephant up there, and let's see what the book says about the elephant. An elephant, of course, is coming up as, well, not of course, but it's coming up as fire as opposed to the earth animals. The elephant's very significant here. Okay, unstoppable, auspicious, and wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant respects immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. So if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way within the light of self-knowledge. So when they're in balance, they have one-pointed focus, which we talked about in this message here. One-pointed focus, generous and loving. When they're out of balance, they misunderstand their fate. And to bring into balance, it's just about trust. All right, guys, take a deep breath. He just fell down. Rise and be loved. That's so funny. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.